Is this the end of film photography as we know it under Trump's new presidency here in the US? Maybe. Let's get into it.
I'm just another Chris.
Now, for any long-time viewer of the channel, you know I don't get into politics. I stay away from it. I try to make a safe place for everyone. No matter who you are, man, woman, child, gay, trans, I don't care. You're all loved here. You're all accepted. We're here to have fun and make some art. I shouldn't say I don't care because I actually do care. But hopefully you know what I mean. But I want to take a moment and talk about what's going to directly affect our community with Trump being in office here in the US. According to my analytics in YouTube, majority of my viewership is here in the US. So that's another reason why I want to talk about it. And this probably will end up affecting the rest of the world in the film community. And I'm only going to be focusing on, in this video, on the tariffs and imports that Trump wants to put into place. None of the other stuff. I've tried to record this several different ways with many different takes, and I've been struggling. So I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna vent a little bit about my concerns for the future of film photography and, of course, instant photography. If you're watching this video, then you care about film photography and instant photography. With the return of Trump in office here in the US, he's proposing these tariffs that he says he's going to implement pretty much day one. A 60% increase with Chinese imports into the US and a 10% universal tariff for everything else. But he's wanting to increase that to 20%. But you may be asking, what's a tariff? What's a tariff? Think of it as just a tax to send it to our country. You want to bring a product into our country, well, you're going to have to pay a giant tax on it. But what does that mean for the consumer? Well, we're probably the ones paying for it because a business needs to make money to stay alive. So they have to charge more for their product. So what does that actually mean? Well, his idea is to force companies to open up factories or open up businesses in the US and start manufacturing stuff here, which sounds great, but it's not feasible to do, especially with our community. Polaroid is not a US-based company anymore. They operate in the Netherlands. That's where the factory is. That's where they produce all their film. Fuji, they're not here either. They're over in Japan. Kodak still produces film here in the US, but there really isn't any other film manufacturers in the US. Everything is imported. And that's the beauty of how the world works. We have stuff of trade to get things that we need to operate all of our countries. But going back like 60 years or so, film photography was the way you did things. It was just the most advanced technology at the time to take your pictures. So everyone was using it and everything was flourishing. There was factories all over the world. Things were flowing, money was flowing, and it was relatively inexpensive for the time period. But as technologies advanced, it became obsolete. We had digital cameras. Like the camera you're watching this video on, it's digital, it's not film. We created camera phones. That's what they were called when they first came out. But we have a camera in our pocket, it's digitally snapped photo, and it's free. Instant photography, film photography in general, has now shifted into the category of a luxury, a hobby, something to do for fun. It's not a necessity anymore. And over the years, the price to shoot photography via film or an analog format has gone way, way up. And it's people like you and me that are passionate about it and are wanting to keep it alive. But we all know it's expensive. I mean, a pack of Polaroid film is around $20 here in the US, and you only get 8 photos. Well, with this proposed tariffs from Trump here in the US, film is going to go way up in price. And these companies are not going to be opening up factories in the US to produce the film. It would cost hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, to create these factories. And it wouldn't be worth the risk to move the factories overseas with the potential of losing the shipment. Once those machines go down, they are hard to get replaced because there aren't other manufacturers creating parts for these factories. We're lucky we still have them today. Maybe you're okay paying an extra 20% on your film, but the bigger picture is everything else that you need on a daily basis, food, supplies, clothes, everything else is going to go way up to where the luxury of shooting a pack of Polaroid film or a pack of instant film, it might not be worth it for you. You might not be able to afford it. And that will trickle down to the companies themselves, regardless if you live in the United States or not. So Polaroid and Fuji and heck, probably Kodak as well. They're going to take a huge financial hit with Trump in office here in the US. So it's kind of up to us to make sure we can keep this stuff alive, that we can keep these companies around as long as we possibly can. Here in the US, we provide a lot of revenue for the international companies out there like Polaroid and Fuji and the rest of the film manufacturers. Film prices will never drop in price, especially after these tariffs go into place. Because once somebody is willing to pay for something at that price, the companies know we're willing to pay that price, and it will continue to be that price moving forward. Things are going to get really difficult here in the US for a lot of reasons, not just for what I'm talking about here right now. Things are going to get really expensive. Things are going to get really dark for quite some time. But I want you to know, watching this video, if you come to my channel, this is a safe place for everybody, regardless of your political views or not. It will always be a source for fun. It will be a source for you to escape whatever you're going on in your life. I'm going to do my best to make sure I'm providing you a place where you feel heard, that you feel like there are other people out there that share your... Wow. I'm going to do my best to keep you guys informed with what is going on within our community. I'm going to try and make this a fun time, a place for you to escape the craziness, because it's going to get very unpredictable over the next few years. And our community needs us. We need to come together. We need to help each other up. We need to encourage one another to get out there and make art. This video is really hard to make because I'm not one to really get political. I don't like talking about it. Politics just divides more than it heals or fixes anything. Everyone has their mind made up about whatever they have their mind made up about, and it won't change. I've always fell on no side other than helping people, putting good karma into the world, showing empathy and compassion for others. This might be a good time to stock up on film. Because who knows what will happen to the film community and these companies over the next few years. I don't think they'll stop importing. I don't think we'll stop seeing the film or cameras and other products from these companies stop hitting the store shelves, at least right away. At least there'll be a slow change. It won't happen overnight. But as the prices go up and up and up, less people will be purchasing, and that will take notice at these companies, and they will have to make a business decision to continue manufacturing or supplying or building whatever it is here in the US specifically. And that'll be a massive financial loss for them across the world. This could potentially raise the prices elsewhere, because if they're not getting it from one place, they're going to try and get it from somewhere else to make up that difference. I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. I primarily rely on film photography for content on this channel, which is one of my revenue sources. This is part of my job. And if film continues to go up or disappears, I won't be able to make content. I'll have to switch into something different. And it's a little scary, but that's just part of life. You got to roll with the punches. Things change. You can fight and do your part, but ultimately you'll have to adapt to the outcome. You'll have to accept the outcome and figure out a new path. So times ahead are going to be rocky. It's going to be a little rough, but I promise you we'll make it through it. And I'm going to be here still making videos for you. If things get hard for you, you can come here. You can message me directly on Instagram. We can have chats about cameras, film. If you see me in public at events and stuff, come up to me, say hello. We'll have a good time. I love you all. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts and inform you, because that's kind of what I've built here on this channel. I never thought I would get to this point. I just like to share my hobby, and it kind of grew into this. And I'm more than happy to be that source of news or education. So I'll continue to do that. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in down below. Let's continue the conversation. But don't attack us. Don't come at us with your political views about something that we're not even talking about in this video. I want to keep this a safe place, but I still want to give you your voice. But let's stay on topic. I really appreciate it. Until next time, get out there. Make some art. The world needs it.